I'm good. How are you?
I am on day 3.
Day 3?
Day 3.
I think you're a little older than that, dear. Day 3 of what?
Day 3 of no coffee.
Of no coffee?
No coffee, zero, zilch, none, nada.
Okay. Why?
Well, because I was falling asleep at the wheel.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
How much coffee were you? So usually when people drink coffee,
yeah,
if you're falling asleep, you drink a little coffee,
right.
Get a little jazz. Yeah.
However, if you drink more than a little coffee, it can have a counteractive effect. And there was a time back when I was a young man, and I drank a lot of coffee, like 84 cups a day. Now, that was based on the 12-cup pot, which we all know is only 6 cups. So
yet you
it's
still
like 42.
Say, but you still say 84.
Well,
you lead with 84.
I do. It's the impact thing. So, I drink a lot of coffee. And based on that.
So you drank like 6 pots of coffee a day?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. And
was that really like 6 full pots of coffee, or they were like the little 4-cuppers? Because
no.
I'm just trying to get a real.
No, these are the 6 12-cup cups.
Okay.
However, it was. That's only 72. Now you're ripping me off. 7 pots of coffee, lady. I can do the math.
Right. Well, apparently not. Yeah. I am thinking, did you really drink? I'm just trying to figure out how much did you really drink?
I really drank a lot, and it had a counteractive effect back then. And I couldn't drive. I mean, I was literally falling asleep after.
Yeah, you shot your adrenals,
3 miles,
right? All of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm self-diagnosing here.
We all do. We have the internet.
And I believe that that's what's going on again, is that I'm just drinking too much coffee.
Okay.
And so
you can't stay awake.
Well, I'm struggling with staying awake, and my lifestyle has not helped. I'm working long hours. So
you have sleep apnea. You won't do anything for sleep apnea.
And I'm working 19-hour days.
And so when you do sleep, you don't get, uninterrupted sleep.
Right.
You have to add that in there, Eric.
I think you have to add that in there.
Because, you want to blame it on the coffee. You want to blame it on that you're only getting, a few hours of sleep, but you've always, really maintained a few hours of sleep type lifestyle. You stay up late, you get up early. So I don't know that you're sleeping less hours.
I was sleeping less hours.
By how many?
About 3.
So you went from sleeping 6 hours a night to 3.
No, I went from sleeping about 8 hours a night to about 5.
Okay. All right. That could do.
So, yeah, in any case, I'm...
okay, but now you're off of coffee.
I'm off of coffee.
How do you feel?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you had any of those caffeine headaches and relapses?
No. I tend not to get those kinds of weird, jittery.
I get a headache if I miss a day of coffee. I get the one day, and I get a caffeine headache.
I've been jittery, but I don't know what to attribute that to, because there's so many other things going on. I mean, we started working out after 2 or 3 months of not working out.
Yes,
there's a lot of room for jitters on that.
All right, so your muscles are reacting to working out,
right? But I'm here and it's good, and I'm feeling all right.
Why do you
Day 3?
I think there's more to it, but I don't know which questions to ask. But I do think that there's more to that. So I'm right. I just don't know which questions to ask. So,
because I said,
so let's move on now that Eric is caffeine free.
Caffeine free.
He is caffeine free. If any of you have any tips, if you've ever gone caffeine free, and anything you'd like to, start a little love club with Eric over used to be coffee drinkers.
If you'd like to start a love club, you can certainly connect.
It's not what I meant.
Oh.
Like people who love something, like you.
Oh, I see.
Like people who drive motorcycles, right? They all love riding motorcycles. So, or people who hobbies, like it's a hobby club. Hobby. Sorry. I say the word love, and he goes, dating. All right, let's talk about how to get ahead in life and in your career.
All right.
Because
we need to.
We do, right? I think a lot of times we have a skill set, and maybe we've just kind of gotten into a routine. We're going through the motions. We're not really expanding our role. We're not learning new skills. But there's more. There's so much potential inside each of us. So, if you're just kind of feeling a little antsy that there's more to what you can contribute in the community, maybe this is for you. But number one, to always be open to new opportunities.
It's easy to get stuck in a rut, and I think a lot of us do. And I'll say that I could probably say that I get stuck in a rut from time to time. You do the things you like to do; those are the only things you do, and you don't do anything else. And if you're open to new opportunities,
I just want to remind. I had to look this up. This is actually an article I found. Written by Don Schwabel. He's actually under 30. So
he's under 30.
He's under the age of 30. And the only reason I have to bring that up is because he talks about job hopping.
Job hopping, yeah.
And he says, it's not so much that you should be job hopping, to gain all these new skills. Although when you're young, you kind of have to job hop because you don't really know what you want to be when you grow up yet. And you've got to get into a job, I think, to figure it out. But he says here, you should, my rule of thumb, he says.
My rule of thumb for a 30-something.
For an under 30-year-old is to stay in one role for at least a year. Unless you're presented with an opportunity you can't refuse.
Yeah, he is definitely under 30.
So that's why I had to look. I'm like, okay, how old is this sweet kid whose rule of thumb is to stay in a role for at least a year, unless presented with an opportunity you can't refuse?
He might bring some wisdom, though, because here's the truth. If you want to get ahead in your career, just don't close your mind to other opportunities. That's the point. And I think that's a fair point, regardless of his immaturity.
He says, if you want to get ahead, you need to have a consulting mindset. He says, we're living in what he calls an ROI nation right now, where companies aren't willing to take risks in hiring people. They want to be 100% confident that they're hiring someone who can get the job done flawlessly and bring value to the company. So if you are a job seeker, he says you need to prove your worth. And the best way to do that, he says, is to act like a consultant. So instead of just applying for a job, more making a presentation on how you bring more value to the company. We just hired an executive director for a board that I sit on. And the gal we ended up hiring, she did just that. She did a presentation for how to grow the company. And I mean, that was ka-ching, bam. Okay. This girl's got what we, the vision of where we're going and what we're going to do with it.
Always deliver more than the value that you're being paid or compensated in one way or another. Don't just tell a company you're going to add value. Show them how you're going to do it. Show me
the money.
Right.
All
right. The next point is to be able to change and adapt. If you want to get ahead in your career, I think this is absolutely critical. In fact, Angela, we have said this many times over the last couple of weeks, that no matter what business you're in, you are in the adapting business. You've got to be able to read the marketplace, whatever it is, and adjust course. Otherwise, you will be, do you remember the movie, The Perfect Storm?
Yes.
Yeah. You don't want to be sideways to a wave.
No.
You want to go head on straight into that wave. You've got to adjust course.
That was such a cool movie.
That was a cool movie.
It was a really cool movie. Freaky. Yeah. Right? Freaky movie if you kind of have ocean issues.
Here's the deal. And you're going on the ocean. Sorry, I shouldn't have brought that up.
Actually, I don't have ocean issues. I mean, seasickness isn't like ocean issues. I mean, it is, but it's not what I'm talking about.
Right. You're not afraid of the big dark blue.
No.
All right. If you want to get ahead, learn the skills of today and of tomorrow. Now, that's an interesting challenge for a millennial, in large part because it's not wrong, but it's not easy because who knows what tomorrow brings. You've got to constantly have your fingers on the pulse of what's happening on the front side, especially in technology. Technology is changing so fast.
And we have to embrace that technology is changing so fast. And, the whole idea of, I don't know how to use that. I don't use that, that technology. That's fuddy-duddy, right? I don't use social media. I don't have a smartphone. I don't know how to use the internet. We have got to get on board. Now it's easier. I mean, I think with the technology is improving, but the whole mindset of you just don't know it. And because you don't know it, you don't like it. And because you don't like it, you're not going to use it. That has to shift because it's not going away. It's only going to infiltrate more and more of our lives.
Finally, surround yourself with the right people. You need to build a strong network for a lot of reasons. If you're around the right people, you become smarter and more confident about your career. Second, if God forbid, if you get laid off, you'll have a network of people to help guide you back into new opportunities. And finally, you'll appear to be more valuable when you're around other ambitious and intelligent people. Show me the people you hang out with, and I'll show you your bottom line. We'll be back with more positive business talk right after these messages. Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer. This is the Experience Pros Radio Network.
You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, America's home for positive